That Shit MMA podcast, hosted by mixed martial arts journalist Mike Strauss, aka Strauss21, and Chicago's #1 underground comedian, Apollo Taj Mahal.
Thank you for listening. I'm Mike Strauss, aka Strauss21, and this is
Apollo Taj Mahal.
We are the guys from the Did You See That Shit Mixed Martial Arts podcast. We know you're going to like the interview, so be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on all the social media platforms, as well as the Missing Time Productions YouTube channel. And don't forget to go to didyousee.shit.com for a complete rundown of all of our content. Right, Apollo?
Yeah.
Want to welcome Nin Thomas to the show. One of my favorite people to talk to, and always opinionated, and always appreciate him taking some time to talk to me. What's going on, man?
Hey, everything's good, man. Just enjoying life, trying to live it to the fullest.
For sure. That's all you can do, right? That's all you can do, one day at a time.
That's it, man. Just smile and be happy.
So it's a good time to catch up with you, man. A lot of things going on. Of course, the whole Pennington situation. I wanted to kind of pick your brain on that. Personally, real quick, I'll just state where I'm coming from. I think that a lot of my colleagues here in the media blew this way out of proportion. It's my opinion that I think that happens a lot, and it just so happened that the camera caught it, so it was a big deal. But what do you think?
Yeah, you just said it. There's a lot of different angles to look at this thing, but you said it best right there. This thing happens a lot, and not necessarily like a verbal, I want to be out, but there's oftentimes where fighters come back and you can just see it in their face where they don't want to go back out there and they don't want to fight, and everybody's like, it's the corner's job to protect them. Well, it's actually the ref's job to protect the fighter. Really, it's the corner's job to make sure that fighter is doing what they're supposed to do, and sometimes that requires motivation, and that's what her corner did. They tried to motivate her. If we stopped the fight every time a fighter said they didn't want to go out and fight, it would just be, there would be no fights. People, they wouldn't even make it past the weight cut. In every weight cut, the fighter's like, this is it. I'm never doing this again. I want to stop now. And it's our job to say, no, man, listen, we worked too hard for this. Let's get out there. You're better than this. You can do this. That's part of the job. And like you said, I thought it was blown way out of proportion. I think there's a certain sexism element to that as well, too, to be honest with you.
You think so? Because that's my co-host for the podcast. He's not here right now, but he brought that up too, that since it was a woman that, that people tend to look at it a little bit differently. You think that played a factor in it?
Yeah, I do think it did. And I think subconsciously, that's what we saw. Like when we saw that with our eyes and this woman just kind of get beat down, it comes like our brains was like, oh my goodness, what's going on here? How could they allow this woman to go back out there and take this beating? I really do believe there's a certain element of that. We might not want to admit to it, but I believe that there is an element of that we kind of felt sorry for this woman taking this beating when she said she didn't want to go back out there. And, because, at the end of the day, like, think of it, if it was Stipe Miocic and Daniel Cormier and one of them went back to the corner and said, nah, man, I'm done, we would all be looking at them like, you're a sissy, you're weak, you're soft. And then if the corner said, nah, man, you need to suck it up, that would be accepted. But the fact that it was a girl, I think it was just harder for us to accept and wrap our minds around that.
Yeah, I think there's definitely something to that, man. And, one thing that I wanted to talk with you about today, too, was you stated your opinion or you were giving kind of just your idea on something, and then one of the media members kind of just said that basically what you were saying was a little overstated, let's say, and you basically retaliated saying, hey, how does it feel? But I don't understand why some of my colleagues are so quick to jump down fighters and coaches, and you guys are just like anybody else. Your opinion matters just as much as mine or anybody, so why can't you have an opinion without being attacked?
You know what? That's funny that you say that. I don't understand it either. That's why, like, my next tweet was, I could say, it's my mother's birthday, like, happy birthday, Mom, you're the greatest woman I've ever known, and then people would argue with me about that. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like the one thing in this world that you're supposed to be entitled to. Like, I'm a guy who's never entitled to anything, but the one thing in the world that you're supposed to be entitled to is your own opinion. And with social media now, it's almost like you can't have an opinion without people calling you names and telling you that you are wrong and so on and so. It's my opinion. So how can you say I'm wrong about my opinion?
Yeah, that's what I didn't quite understand that, but Yeah, I know who that person is too. So let's just say we're not the greatest fans of each other. But moving along here, one thing that interests me, man, is I'm always fascinated with Twitter polls, and you seem to run quite a few very good ones. One of the ones I saw the other day was the worst ending for a TV show. You had The Sopranos, Lost, and Dexter. I voted for Dexter, but I was curious. Do you remember what won?
I think it was. Oh, you know what? I can't remember. See, we do that. I do that on my radio show in West Palm, ESPN West Palm, and I can't remember what the results were for that because we do them every day.
What would you pick of the three?
I would have to say Lost, and I think the reason why was because I was such a fan of Dexter. I won't allow myself to say that the ending sucked. Yes, I was such a fan of Dexter. That was one of my all-time favorite shows, and he's one of my all-time favorite characters. But Lost, I liked Lost. But the fact that it ended so weird the way it did, I can just say, you know what? It's whatever.
Yeah, Lost was a weird one. I was a huge fan of Dexter, too. The thing that bothered me about Dexter is, like, the last season, it started to get a little weird for me because he's got that woman that he's got her all, he's got her all taped up, he's ready to go, and then all of a sudden he untapes her and has sex with her. I'm like, wait a second. That's not Dexter.
Yeah, that's kind of jumping the shark, ain't it?
Yeah, right. So that's when I kind of started to be like, what's going on here? But yeah, there's rumors that they might bring that back, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I don't know if it's probably fake news, but I saw it somewhere that I guess they're in talks. They don't know what network, but they're doing all these remakes. It could very realistically come back.
I'd love to see that. I mean, that was an all-time great show.
It was. He was the perfect character for it too.
Yeah. He was cold, but I mean, and he had a good character arc as well. Like he started off, he was kind of fun-loving, but then he just kind of became dark. But I thought it was great.
Yeah, it really was. It was definitely an exploration of humanity. So let's talk a little bit about ATT, man. You guys are just like a factory, man. You're just pumping out amazing fighters. The thing that really impressed me, man, about you guys and the coaching staff is that you got guys like Tony Martin, very good, respectable fighters, but they come there and you're just able to take them to the next level. What is it about you guys that you can take already fantastic fighters and just take them to that next step?
I think it's our experience. Between like me and Mike Brown, Mike Brown is an old school fighter who's been through it all. I'm an old school fighter who's been through it all. And we influence fighters heavily. And the funny thing is that me and Mike Brown don't even work together all that often, and I wish we did. We just don't have time because we work with different fighters. But we influence them with our experience, and I think they feel that, they sense that. And plus, me and Mike Brown, we care about the fighters too. So like, and I'm just speaking. And the reason why I bring Mike Brown because we just had like an hour-long conversation. But we have a tremendous staff between Conan Silveira. Conan Silveira is an old school fighter with an old school mentality, and he kind of handles a lot of the Brazilian guys and gives them his flavor when it comes to that. But with just our experience, we have an old school mentality with our experience that I don't think a lot of other camps have.
Yeah, you guys definitely do. I mean, every year it's ATT, AKA, and Jackson's consistently just the top three. Of course, there's so many other fantastic ones too. No, you don't have to throw shade on those ones. Well, man, I know that you're really, really popular on social media. I follow you. You're one of my favorite follows, and that's at Din Thomas on Instagram, and then at Din Thomas on Twitter as well. The floor is yours, man, if you'd like to shout out anything you'd like to.
Well, yeah, absolutely, man. So not a lot of people know this about me, but now that I don't actively compete as a fighter, what my passion is now is I'm in the entertainment industry, so I'm doing a lot of comedy, improv, and also some acting. So I have a short film coming out next week called the Sandbox Memories. So I want to make sure everybody is aware of that and they pick that up. We'll probably just put it out on YouTube for free. So once that drops, if you get a minute, please spend spend 20 minutes to watch that. I'd appreciate that for everybody. It's called the Sandbox Memories, and I hope you enjoy it.
Absolutely. Did you direct it?
No, I starred in it.
Oh, you starred in it. Awesome. I can't wait.
Yes.
Can you give us a little taste of what it's about?
Well, I don't want to give too much away because it's kind of one of them. It has a little twist to it, but
okay.
It's about two guys that meet in the bar, and they have history that is unbeknownst to them.
Gotcha. I'll be there, man. I'll be there for it, and I'll definitely spread the word.
Man, I'd appreciate that, man, for sure.
Of course. I appreciate your time, Din, and I look forward to speaking with you in the future, man.
All right, man. Take it easy.
You too. Take care, man.